We'll be going live in just a moment. I'm just setting everything up. We'll be going live in just a moment. I'm just setting everything up. Welcome. My name is Keith Hampton, and I am a very, very happy customer of BitcoinTAF.com. It has been quite a journey in the cryptocurrency space, and I've really enjoyed the benefits of being involved with Marius and Wendy Landman of BitcoinTAF.com. They have been a real godsend to me. I've been involved with them for about 8 years, and it has really changed my life. The secret is that Marius Landman has a unique ability to acquire data and apply it to algorithms, sophisticated algorithms, where he's able to utilize that data to predict the future, to be able to foretell what is about to come. He first developed this technology in the oil and gas sector, in the drilling and completion side of the industry, where he was starting to able, or he was able to predict accidents, future accidents, near misses, and major events. And slowly, the industry recognized the power of this information, was able to utilize this now today in every oil and gas company throughout the world to reduce the risks out there in a highly risky field for the employees. He since has gone on and utilized the same kind of technique to be able to predict major world events and stock market events, as well as today the cryptocurrency industry. He's able to predict the future. And what I mean by that is I'm going to show you his past ability. So if you're looking at these charts right here, um, what you're looking at is the back in November of 2021. So this would have been, he would have predicted this now probably in 2019 of November. Oh, in other words, 2 years in advance. He was already predicted that we were going to hit a top in Bitcoin in November of 2021. And that's what you're seeing right here. And then he predicted the exact low of Bitcoin 1 year later, which is what showed up here. Remember, we had 2 years advance notice as to these major trends. Now, if you know what's going to happen 2 years out, you can really plan and strategize to take advantage of those predictions and make a lot of money. Since then, he's gone on to predict this Jaffa Gate, which is what we're showing up here in the Prince of Jerusalem cycle. And since we knew that that was going to happen and then a sideways movement, then we're going to have a quick Zion Gate, which was predicted, again, 2 years out. And then we got into what we call the Dung Gate, which was a very downwards trending, very frustrating zone. And then he also predicted the Damascus Gate, and that's where we are today. So that is what's amazing is that you look back at his predictions and they all have become complete 100%, including this little pentagon pattern, which was expected there was going to be a major drop in September of 2023. But that was thwarted by a supernatural intervention that he explains, and we've confirmed in the world that exactly what happened. So that's what's amazing. People were predicting this drop, and he said, nope, it's not going to happen. There's going to be something that's going to intervene. And he was right. So that gives you an idea just how powerful this information is. He does weekly PDF reports on this data. He also does weekly webinars where you get this information, uh, what's happening on a weekly basis, and to answer all your questions. So today, we're in a very unique situation. We're here at this juncture, and the question is, what is going to happen in the future? Let me just change this out a little bit. Sorry, my apologies. And the answer is we don't know. At least the public doesn't know. I mean, we've got some people out on the internet that are predicting that, you know what, we're just going to just wobble along sideways for quite some time into the future because Bitcoin seems to have hit a major top. We have other people saying, oh, no, 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 that's false. We're going to have this thing break out and take off. And we have others that are predicting that, nope, we're going to actually have this sort of situation happen. So the question is, which one's right? That's the good news. That's why I'm so excited because I know exactly what's going to happen here in the future. And that is the power of Marius's algorithms. And that's why you need to take a serious look at his reports. If you want to know what's happening in the altcoin and Bitcoin space, there is two things you can subscribe to in this organization. One is the long-term trade reports, which specifically focuses on Bitcoin. If you are a Bitcoin maximalist and that's all you want to focus on, this is the subscription for you. However, like most of us, we are in the altcoins as well. And so I would recommend if you're in altcoins, you also get a bit on the Bitcoin as well. But I would recommend the Elliott Wave chart pattern reports and the weekly videos. This to me is invaluable because I know exactly where we are in that cycle and where we're going. And it has been very frustrating over the last year in the altcoins. I mean, there's a lot of people that have bailed and given up hope. Well, I can tell you that there's a bright future, and you need to know the timing of this bright future. That's what these reports provide you. But along with that, this team has grown and they now provide a tremendous amount of training and education as well. So that you can be a much more professional trader and investor in the crypto space. So if you'd like to learn, this is the place for you. You need to seriously take a look at joining the HODLNet Self-Paced Foundational course and or the live course, depending on the timing that you sign up. This will give you that good solid foundation to get started. And now you have that foundation. From there, I would highly recommend the Ultimate Trade course. This course, in my opinion, is the best in the world. It is the most advanced and the most complete. I have taken other courses in the past, paid 2 to 3 times more for the subscription, and got 1/3 the value. That's how good this training and education is. And then from there, you can keep on growing and develop techniques in the ultimate decentralized finance area as well. There's a course for that that's put out by our leading analyst, Corey Gardner. So there's so much training and education along with the guidance. So you really have a lot to work for here. And then we have a new tool that you might be very interested in. If you're more of a short-term trader, there's this wonderful tool that Wendy Landman has created called the HODL Fire. It's an indicator that tells you what the momentums are, when to get in and when to get out. And it is an amazing tool. In fact, I'm just going to show you how valuable it is. So I'm bringing up a chart here of a coin called Venice. And these are on 2-hour candles. And wouldn't it be nice to know when these bottoms and tops are so you know when to get in and when to get out? Well, that's exactly what this tool provides. Let me just show you how it works. Basically, what it tells you is when the momentum is at the top, a top pivots, and when the momentum's at the bottom, a bottom pivot, tops and bottoms. Now you'll notice at the front of the screen, this bottom pivot is in blue versus black. The reason for that is that it means it's not 100% confirmed that that's the bottom. It could be a false bottom. There, in the analysis, there's no way you can, to a degree of 100%, predict the absolutes until time has gone by. So that's why you have it in blue. And so what I do, I like to get added confirmation. By the way, this is the red line's a 200 moving average. And we ideally like to trade above the 200, but that's not absolutely necessary. Again, it's all about risk management, which you get educated and trained on when you take the ultimate trading course. So as an example, how you would take advantage of this is you would be looking for bottom pivots. And then I like to have extra confluence. So I'd like to have a buy tag as well to tell me that that's a higher probability that it's going to go up. So at that point, I would have entered the trade right at this buy tag. And I'm just going to change the line and the size of it so you can see it easily. So there's where I would have entered. Now, I had taken the courses and immediately I would have set a stop loss to protect my capital. So with that, I would have set a stop loss, in this case, slightly below that bottom pivot. Remember, because it could be a false bottom. And That way, this is the key. I'm only risking a small amount of capital. In this case, I'm risking about 3%. So now what happens is that what I find out is that as this coin starts to move up and we start getting more positive, well, then I de-risk. I move my stop loss up from here to break even. Now I've got a risk-free trade going. Now I can relax, watch it play out. And what I'm looking for is a top pivot, which is shown right here. That pivot comes in, that's when I exit the market. And so I would have exited somewhere in that range, which would take the 3% potential loss into a lovely little 11% profit. That's the beauty of utilizing this tool. Now we have another coin. The coin is running again. So again, what I did is the coin started to run. I got a bottom pivot. I waited for a buy tag, and that's where I entered the market. I would set my stop loss right here, and the coin is running. So now I've moved my stop loss up to break even. Now I've got a risk-free trade going. It's running really, really well. What I'm looking for is that top pivot. The beautiful thing with this tool is I can set alerts. So it'll actually alert me by email or by text message on my phone when that pivot top comes in. So I could jump on and exit the trade. So at this stage of the game, when I would have entered the trade, I would have been in a potential 6% loss. And right now I'm in a potential 23% profit. So that's how valuable this tool is. But I got to tell you, once you had the training, there's more tools that you can use for added confluence. And that's where I love having all of this training and information, because now I can utilize other tools to give me further confluence as to when to get in. And how I do that is simply looking for other indicators that tell me that that this is, a good trade. So what I'm looking for here, if I got a bottom pivot and then I got a buy tag, I'm looking for other confluence. Well, one is I've got a dot, a green dot here telling me the momentum is bottomed and it's starting to go up. I also have here at this buy tag, clearly this green line has crossed over the black zero line and it's above the green line or the blue line. So that's very, very positive. So that added confluence, 1, 2, and we've got the pivot, 3, and the buy tag, 4. So that's 4 different indicators versus just 2. Now, as this moves up, ironically, when I would have gotten that top pivot and I exited, ironically, look what we got here. We've got a red dot at the top of the momentum. We've got this crossing over. Again, added confluence to exit the trade. 4 different indicators. Again, let's repeat. We've got a bottom pivot. There's one good. We've got a buy tag. Secondly, we've got a nice green dot right here. And look at how this is crossing over and breaking out really high. That's the 4 very, very strong signals. So that's the power of utilizing all of the training and education that Marius provides for us with this team of Corey, Nico, and Wendy in this organization. So if you like what you're seeing here, I highly recommend that you go to the website, bitcointaf.com, sign up for free, and then seriously go through all of this information and try and find something that's for you. I think you'll be very, very pleased at the results that you're getting. So with that, I'd like to thank you for coming on board with me this morning, and hopefully we will see you signed up and on the other side. Have a great weekend. Take care. All the best.